So in our first section, we have gone through what is working capital, types of working capital, and in the second section, we have gone through factors determining a size of working capital. Next is operating cycle. So what is this operating cycle? As in the picture, you can see that operating cycle is a time involved in conversion of cash into raw material into work in progress into finished goods into debtors, and debtors into cash. That is, length of a cycle determines the size of working capital of the firm. That is cash into cash, the conversion of cash into cash. How it goes through? It goes first to raw material. Cash is converted into raw material is converted into work in progress is converted into finished goods, again the finished goods is converted into debtors, and from debtors finally it is converted into cash. That is cash into cash. So as in the case, now ಕ್ಯಾಶನ್ನಾಗಿ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು, the process is called as operating cycle. So all the business, the cycle won't remain same. It changes or it varies from business to business, because the nature of business is changed from concern to another concern. ಒಂದು business ಇದು process ಮತ್ತು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು businessಗೆ ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು, it will not be same. Operating cycle or the cycle of a firm differs from one concern to another concern because it depends on a size of a concern, credit policy of a concern, manufacturing process of a concern, fluctuation in demand. So depending on all this, the operating cycle varies from one concern to another concern. In overall, operating cycle is a time involved in conversion of cash into raw material into work in progress and ವಾಪಸ್ finished goods ಅನ್ನಾಗಿ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು. finished goods is converted into debtors it is converted into cash. Next we'll go through 4 components of operating cycle of a manufacturing firm. It includes 4 components. We'll see one by one. First is raw material conversion period. It is a length of period needed for buying raw materials and converting raw material into work in progress. Second, work in progress. It is a period or length of period required for work in progress into finished goods. So process ಮಾಡಿ finished goodsಗೆ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಆಗುವವರೆಗೆ that period is called as work in progress. Next one, finished goods conversion period. It is a period needed for selling finished goods to the consumer or debtors. The total of above 3 period is called as inventory conversion period. So as you see that raw material conversion period plus work in progress conversion period plus finished goods conversion period, total is inventory conversion period. We call it as inventory conversion period. Fourth one, book date conversion period. Book date conversion period is needed for collecting cash from the debtors. So once the finished goods is done, we give it to our debtors or our customers. So next, after collecting a cash, that is called as book date conversion period. We are converting it into cash. The process of conversion from cash to cash. Raw material in the work in progress in the finished goods the debtors in the ವಾಪಸ್ cash ಇದೆ. The overall process is called as gross operating cycle. Now they have said minus payment deferral period is equal to net operating cycle. So operating cycle is the cycle or the process through which it is converted to cash into cash again, minus payment deferral period is equal to net operating cycle, they have said. Now we will see what is this deferral period. Gross operating cycle, that is equal to raw material conversion period plus working conversion period plus finished goods conversion period plus book date conversion period, that is gross operating cycle. Net operating cycle, gross operating cycle minus payment deferral period. So what is this payment deferral period? They have said payment deferral period means if a firm is buying a raw material from its suppliers. Now suppliers in the raw material ಎಲ್ಲ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್ ಬೇಸಿಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ದ ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಮೇಡ್ ಇನ್ ಅ ಕ್ಯಾಶ್. ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ದ ಪೀರಿಯಡ್ ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ postponed for the payment to the supplier is called payment deferral period. It is a period between date of purchase ಇಂದ ಇದು ಡೇಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ವರೆಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿಯವರೆಗೆ ನಾವು ಪೇ ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಆ ಪೀರಿಯಡನ್ನು ವಿ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಇಸ್ ಆ್ಯಸ್ ಅ payment deferral period. So net operating cycle is equal to gross operating cycle minus payment deferral period. If period is deducted from gross operating, we get net operating cycle. Next is estimation of working capital requirement, that is method to calculate working capital requirement for upcoming years. How many working capital is required? How much working capital is required for upcoming years? ನಮಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ನ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇದೆ. There are different methods to estimate working capital. We will see one by one. First one, component of working capital requirement. Working capital, we say it as we give a formula that current asset minus current liability, the difference of current asset and current liability is called as working capital. We all know that difference between current asset and current liability is called as working capital. We will estimate what are the total current requirement of a business during a period, what are the total assets required during a period, and what are the liabilities which has to be paid. So we'll go through a statement showing working capital requirement. It includes it is divided into two parts, current asset and current liability, part A and part B. We know what is gross working capital. Gross working capital is a total of current asset. Current asset na total ಅನ್ನೇ ನಾವು gross working capital ಅಂತ ಕರೀತೇವೆ. If a current liability is deducted, a total of that gross working capital minus current liability is called as net working capital. So difference between current asset and current liability is net working capital. If a company has to plan rather how much working capital is required in upcoming year, ಎಷ್ಟು working capital requirement ಇದೆ. By this method we will try to find out the need of working capital requirement in upcoming year. We are estimating working capital requirement format includes current asset and current liability. The difference between current asset and current liability is equal to net working capital. Current asset, we all know that it includes inventories, debtors, cash in hand, prepaid expenses and accrued income, whereas current liabilities include creditors, bill payable, outstanding expenses and pre-received incomes. So net working capital is nothing but current asset minus current liability. So this is based on our first method, that is component of working capital requirement method. Has name is different. Working capital is nothing but current asset minus current liability. Second one, percentage on sale method. A sale determines production and production determines the size of a working capital. Production determines a size of working. A relation is in between sale and working capital is called as leads to a percentage on sale method. Say they have given an example. See that if sale required for working capital, estimated sale is 2 lakh rupees, they have said that 10% of sale required. So on sale 10% they have said. So it's just an example. If sale is 2 lakh, estimated sale, that is 10% on that, that is equal to 20,000. So this is related to percentage of sale method. It's just an example. Next one, third point, operating cycle method. Operating cycle is nothing but conversion of cash into cash. Now in the beginning of the session only we have seen that conversion of cash into cash. We go through cash into raw material conversion period, raw material into work in progress into finished goods into book date conversion period, minus payment deferral period. We have seen all this concept. It includes 3 steps. Under that first step, it is to find out net operating cycle, that is calculation of net operating cycle. Operating cycle we have just seen. What is operating cycle? That is conversion of cash into cash. Under first step, we will find out raw material conversion period, that is equal to average stock of raw material divided by raw material consumed per day. Work in progress conversion period is equal to average stock of work in progress divided by cost of production per day. Finished goods conversion period, that is equal to average stock of finished goods divided by cost of goods sold per day. So total of this 3, raw material, work in progress and finished good, we call it as inventory conversion period. Book date conversion period, that is equal to book date divided by average credit sale per day. That total of all these 4 is equal to gross operating cycle minus payment deferral period. If we have not paid to a suppliers, the payment from a purchase to the date from a purchase to date to the payment till the date to the payment, that is called as payment deferral period, that is equal to creditors divided by credit purchase per day. We get numbers of day. So in total we get net operating cycle. This is a step first in under operating cycle method. Second step is calculation of numbers of net operating cycle in a year. Numbers of days in a year, that is equal to 365. 365 divided by net operating cycle. Step 3, that is calculation of working capital requirement. How much capital is required? That is equal to cost of sale divided by number of net operating cycle in a year. So this is related to 3 steps of operating cycle. First one is to calculate net operating cycle. Second one is to calculate numbers of net operating cycle in a year, ಒಂದು ವರ್ಷದಲ್ಲಿ. Third one, working capital required. If suppose there is a note, if suppose cost of sale is not given, the sales figure itself ಸೇಲ್ಸನ್ನು ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. To calculate working capital required.